So the original inspiration behind Into The Godsgrave was to envision a world like classical, like typical fantasy world, in which the gods are literally murdered by the mortals. And what would be the outcome of such situation? Or how would the world without gods look like? And what will be the lasting repercussions of these massive changes in the world that was done in the beginning of the times? So that was the initial idea, so fantasy would be twist. But of course there was some other inspiration and cultural references. For example, Godsgraves are taken mainly from the sci-fi novels of Strugatsky Brothers, which is a roadside picnic. So these Godsgraves are a bit like zones where the stalkers were going. So this was a huge inspiration for this part of the story. And of course these gods that are hard to understand for the mortals. All the actions are incomprehensible for humans, for all mortal races. So these are obviously, there are some Lovecraftian inspirations. Basically we have these mighty beings that the actions are completely random, and in terms of the mortals were cruel. So that's why the whole idea of them being so hard to live with that pushed all mortal races to rebel against them. So one of the trickiest part was to adapt our game systems in terms of the app that we use for the game, because there are some similarities between Into The Godsgrave and our previous games, like Destinies and The Dark Order. We are using some of the same fundamentals in terms of how the app is constructed, but we needed to, of course, devise some new solutions on how we use app with the physical components and how we use the app to deliver the story. So that required a lot of tinkering, testing, and designing the way the app works with this game from a new viewer perspective. So in comparison to our previous titles, the app is not only the narrator of the game, of the story, but also covers some mechanical side of the game, which is mainly the enemies and how they work on the physical components on the physical map. So it was quite challenging, but in the end we are pleased with the final result. I think I could be a relictor because they are the ones who study the dead gods. The relics are items crafted from the remains of the dead gods, and they are infused with essence, this power that allows relictors to basically have different special abilities, special spells, let's say. But they're also scholars. They want to uncover the reason why the gods were who they were, and whether killing them was actually a good idea in the first place.